Well, good afternoon. It's Longhaultanker, straight razor shaving with Longhaultanker, and it is the 24th of January 2024 at approximately 16:55. That's 2:55 p.m. Central Time. And shaving at home here. I've been home since Saturday. I've got about 3.5 days of growth on my face. Every time I've wanted to shave, I didn't have enough time. It wasn't convenient. I've been home, but busy. And then working around my wife's schedule, not convenient. So this is the first moment that I told my wife, I said, I got home from a little trip I'll tell you about, errand. I said, I've got to shave and I'm going to record. Okay, get it done. You'll hear some music playing in the background. It's kind of an ambient, electronic shifting of chords very gently. It's actually the kind of music I just love to sleep to when I'm in the truck. All right, for the equipment today, we are using Sterling Soap Company Agar, and I saw recently in an email where they have discontinued it. I actually went to look it up before the video started, and it's off their website. Soap is not available, and so, I thought it was a good scent. I've used it a couple of times now. I went back and checked my former videos. This is one of the 7 that I bought recently, and I haven't used this on video, so there you go. That's why we're using it. Haven't used it on video. So that, for the brush, still using and breaking in the Sterling Soap Company's 31 millimeter Monster Boar Brush. Just a wonderful, beautiful brush. And I'm going to tell you, I know I've always said, and I have spent crazy money on Badger brushes, top of the line, and I like that brush. And you'll see, what is $49, but they're out of stock at present. And I said, that's too bad. I made a second comment on their website and told how much I like this and I want to buy some more. They have a smaller version, it's also sold out. 31, I think it's 28 millimeter, not for $48 or $39, I forget which. But the other interesting thing here is that it is made by Zenith, apparently out of Italy, made in Italy, and over the last 3 days, I think 3 days ago, I went looking to see if Zenith had a website, or if somebody else sold these Zenith brushes, and I found them on eBay. There's a guy over there, I don't know his name or anything, but he had the full lineup of Zenith brushes. And the big ones too, 31, 30, 28 millimeter knots boar brush. He's got other kinds of brushes too, but he seems to carry exclusively Zenith brushes. And they look very similar. The style of the handle, the heavy resin, the big handled resin. Oh, let me introduce the brush. I'll come back to this Zenith, the brushes here in a minute, but let me tell you about this razor. You may have seen it before, but it's a little 5/8 Simmons Hardware. Simmons Hardware, made in the U.S., something distributors. NFRS and distributors. I don't know what that is. Number 421 Barber's Pet. Can you see that on there? Barber's Pet. Barber's Pet. And I made mention here in the last few videos when I went up to Wisconsin that I had stopped and met up with Matt Lukey. You'll know him as Straight Face Shaved on YouTube. We say Lukey 3262 is his screen name or something. And I think he's one of the finest young men I've ever met. And so we met, visited with each other for a while. I had my little bag with me, my shaving gear that I carried with me in the truck, and my roll-up, my 7-day roll-up. And that was a part of the this Simmons hardware razor was a part of the roll-up that I had with me. And he's looking through it and pulls it out, and I didn't even think about it. And he says, "Isn't this the one I sent you?" And I said, "Yeah, it is, as a matter of fact." And so it was in rotation to use over the last week or so. Seemed an unusually long time for me to work through that 7-day roll-ups series that I had with me. But I got to it over the last number of days, got to it. And I wasn't satisfied. Was not satisfied. Barely satisfied with the edge. And so when I got home, in fact, I went one session on it that Saturday, this past Saturday afternoon when I got home. And by the way, this is day number 6, number 5, number 6 that I've been home. Be number 6, tomorrow will be day number 7. And I got stories to tell about that too. A story. Taking some of the lather off of the brush to create my little rubbing pre-shave exercise. And so I got the Chaplin glass stones out. I got my Dan's Whetstone Hard Black Arkansas out. And took it back to the 8K, Chaplin glass stone 8K. Didn't want to get too aggressive on it. And started working it. And brought it up from 8K, 16K, 30K. And then put it on the Arkansas Hard Black. Some say that might be a step back, but that's what I wanted. And that was on Saturday. On Sunday, I gave it some more time on the Arkansas. I would guess an additional 30 minutes. So between the two sessions, 30 minutes with the Arkansas, so an hour total on the Arkansas. Shaved with it on Monday. Morning, and it was just excellent. And so I'm hoping to replicate that shave here on video, and to give a nice shout out to Matt and this razor and our meet up that we had about 2 weeks ago, and just had a lovely time with Matt. And my wife says to me last night in bed, does that Matt, does he do videos? And I said, yeah, of course. And I said, bring his picture up. I want to see what he looks like. And so I did. And what a nice young man, blah, 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 you know. So you got my wife's attention, Matt. Careful what you do with it. So, back to the Zenith brushes. So I found the website, started looking at all the different models they've got. A lot of them they got are just 24 millimeter. Heretofore, I have not been a fan of boar bristle brushes. I got this one and I head over heels about it. $50, are you kidding me? I could pull all the bristles out, treat it as badly and shamefully as I wanted to, and go buy another one. And at $50, who cares? Now, so I found Zenith on eBay. This guy who sells all these different models. He says that's all he deals in exclusively. He's so impressed with him himself that that's all he deals with on his eBay page. If you know of any company, Omega, Smorgasbord, if you know of any company that makes Badger brushes that are as fully dense and packed, 31, 30, 28, 30, 31 millimeter knots, I'd like to know, because I'd like to sample them and see how they stack up to this one and the Zenith brush, because I have ordered 5 Zenith brushes. Different handle styles. 3 of them are in aluminum. One is very similar to this in butterscotch, and another one in off-white or ivory. And I'm looking forward to seeing that one. And the aluminum, I'm taken with those, so we'll see what happens. But I bet you I'm going to love those just as much as I love this sterling made by Zenith. Yep. And so, but I don't know anybody else out there, Omega, like I said, or others, that make as dense. They're all, that's why these up here in the window are retired, is that how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 boar bristle brushes I've got up there, all small, 20, 22, 24, and they're all just a bunch of sickly birds' nests, and so, but not this. When this one dries out, it goes back to almost its original condition in the box. Nice straight bristles. Boar has a way of, getting a hair lick in it. All right, here we go. Oops, wrong. Let's get our strokes in down here. Let me clean all this off first as we get started. I'm doing that as with the grain stroke. So there's been a little bit of unpleasantness of at work. You know, we had a management change. Our terminal manager, assistant terminal manager, were let go, terminated. Which, you know, that's their business. I'm not don't want to get involved in if there's any. But they were good managers. I enjoyed both of them. Both of them I've known for 20 years. My 15 years there at the company. I'm sure that this Simmons hardware is a promotional item back in the day. This NFRS is probably the actual manufacturer. I don't know what that stands for. I got a letter that said I'm not averaging 32 hours a week on the job. I just burnt over 80 hours going up to Oregon and back. And whatever hours I may have burnt up earlier in the month on the previous runs before the change in the calendar month. And I was informed that if I did not get my average of hours per week up over 32 by the end of the first quarter, I would be designated part-time status and lose all my benefits. I mean, you know, I've got options with regard to that. But the letter went on to say that if I didn't get my average of hours up over 32 hours a week by the end of the second quarter, I would be terminated. I've been there for 12, 15 years. Come on. And I'm not the one sitting at home for 6-9 days between loads on purpose. They don't have the loads. For example, well, let me carry on. So I got back from the Oregon trip on Saturday, and I had already received this letter, wasn't happy about it, and so I went into dispatch when I got there, call me a bit of a smarty pants if you want to, but I went in the door singing, "Lies tell me sweet loving lies." I did that on purpose. And I said, I want to load. I want to load for Monday. This was Saturday. I wanted to load for Monday. I want to get out. I want to get my hours up. And so I got assigned a load. Going to Avon Lake, Ohio. Now, late the next afternoon, 4 o'clock, I get a phone call. "Oh, your load to Avon Lake, Ohio has been bumped, has been pushed back for 7 days, from Monday this past week to Monday this coming week." Well, that didn't make me happy at all, since my goal was to get my hours up. I inquired if there were other loads going out in the middle of this week or later this week that were available. And I was informed, no, there are not. But there was an Oklahoma load. That's not 1,000 miles, 1,200 miles. I called my truck driving buddy, one of them. He was in a similar boat. He got assigned a load. Next morning, he was called to be informed that his load had been canceled and pushed forward. Now, today, truck drivers, either every 2 years or every 1 year, have to get a DOT medical physical examination. And so my medical card was set to expire on February the 6th, which is just a couple of weeks away, and that's about when the companies want you to go renew. So don't get away from you, and they'll put you on suspension, or shut down, to be a better word, until you get it done. But I watch it pretty close, and I knew it was coming up, and so knowing that my load wasn't supposed to load until next Monday, I decided yesterday that I would go take care of this morning. And I had to go down to my dispatch office and get the necessary paperwork that authorizes me to go to the medical clinic that they use, which is all fine. Been there. This is the third time I've been there to this particular clinic. That's the way they do things. But while I was there at the dispatch office picking up the paperwork, I inquired of the dispatcher. I said, by the way, how many loads do you have on the board right now? And we have a couple of different operating divisions out of our dispatch office, but I'm in the general chemical. We've got asphalt and oil and gas, and I think that's about it. But in the general chemical division, there were 20 loads. On the board. And I asked him, I said, of those 20, how many are greater than 1,000 miles? He said 2. I said, there's your problem right there. There's the problem right there. Out of 20, only 2 are over 1,000 miles. No wonder guys like me and my buddies who like to drive long don't have any loads, because you don't have any loads. I said, I've been saying that for 2 years. You don't have the long loads. Anyway, the physical went real well this morning. Young guy, a physician's assistant, performed the examination, has the authority to sign off on my medical card, so all that was taken care of. So I'm looking forward to those new Zenith brushes coming in. They'll be here tomorrow, according to Postal Service estimated delivery. So I'm excited about that, of course. To all my friends out there who make videos that I don't seem to have the time to make comment on, I am watching Martin Test Shaves, straight-faced shave with Lukey 3262, Bill M, Gordon Christie, and Maddie Lindholm, Gary Harwood, Devin Jackson, oh, Dapper Shades, Jock. He hasn't made one in a few days. This razor's just doing fantastic. Just doing that. I did notice when I was stropping it up and put it under the light that it's got, and despite the almost 1 hour that I put on the Dan's Whetstone, there was still plenty of high degree of polish, say from the 30,000 Chapin glass that I had used. But I don't worry about that. I put it on the hard black for a good 60 minutes. I will say 45 to 60 minutes. But that's kind of the reason I do that, go up to the higher grit, is some of those, it just seems axiomatic to me that even though I come back to the hard black, that some of those characteristics of the 30,000 are going to linger. I'm not a scientist. And the other thing is that when I do actually use it, it works. And isn't that the kind of the point? I know a lot of people will just go, well, that's not a true this or that edge. You know, you've got to get it right down to the little fuzzy finish that a natural stone will provide. And that's all okay. That's fine. And the real goal I want a hard black edge on it, but I'm still going to take it up to just beyond what the hard black or any other natural can provide. and then bring it back to the natural. I don't do a lot of experimenting like some fellows do, and that's okay. You know, that's how some of us learn, by what others do. But I'll tell you something else I've been thinking about a lot lately. And it's one of the reasons why I'm not too terribly upset about being downgraded to part-time status and threat of termination and so forth, is that I'm getting older. I'm 64 and a half years old. I know that there's a Social Security benefit out there waiting for me that I could capitalize upon now, but it's not the most ideal time to do it due to lesser benefit. But I could take that lesser benefit and go to work part-time doing something else for a while. I don't know. Being gone from home for years on end, missing grandkids' recitals and plays, and not being able to spend as much time at home with my wife as I would like, makes me ready to stop. And if I were at home every day, I've got in mind some things to do, which are very impractical, being gone from home and on the road all the time. It's just wonderful. I'll tell you something else about this Badger brush that I just love is that when I am driving in the truck, I'll oftentimes just hold this and rub it on my face and play with it while I'm driving. And in many respects, it's softer. The only Badger brush that this brush is not softer than are those QED Select Manchurian silver tips. Put up by, what is it, QEDUSA.com. Wonderful. So we've had a lot of rain here in Houston. Temperatures have been fairly cool. In fact, there were a couple of days while I was gone, they got down into the freezing for a couple of nights. Nothing serious. We anticipated that because the news was telling us, and we drained all the water out of the irrigation sprinklers. I never mind it when the shaving lather gets up on the collar of the shirt. Just wipe it off, and the scent lingers there for the rest of the day or two. Yeah, we'll see if we get any warning strikes from YouTube on the music that we're playing. I don't know if you can hear it. On my side, it's kind of a little on the loud side, but not overly annoying. No, I'm surprised at how much I like boar bristle brushes by Zenith. I don't know about anybody else. The ones I've got up there, won't touch them again. "49 minutes for the first two passes. Now we're starting the third pass. But if you watch me for any length of time, you know that I always take a long time, and don't worry about it. Just wonderful. No blood to speak of as yet. I always say, yeah, you never know, right? I think my soundtrack changed to a thunderstorm. The music's over, maybe, I don't know. Well, we're going to move on to the head shave here in a little bit. All right, let's rinse it off and see what we got. Then do some finishing strokes and move on to the head shave. Just a lovely scent on the agar. I've got a retired truck driver buddy that lives real close, within 5 miles of my location of my house. And I've decided I'm going to start sharing some of my shave soaps and brushes with him. And he still uses a Harry's razor, cartridge razor. But he's getting into the soaps and the brushes and so forth. And so I decided to give him, I gave him 3 soaps and a brush here, a fairly nice, medium quality shave brush. And I got to thinking to myself, there's no reason I couldn't go into a full-blown sharing program with him. I'm not worried about what some people might be worried about. That's bloodborne diseases and such like. That sort of thing. Of course, I want to make sure that I don't want to give anything to somebody who's got something bad, and then get it back and, do this back and forth thing. Here, use this for a couple of weeks, use this for a couple of weeks. And then get it back and end up regretting it. No. Just beautiful. That's just fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. All right. Cue the spot. We're moving to the head shave. Simmons Hardware, Barber's Pet. And I will say today, this little razor just performed magnificently. Couldn't ask for better, in my opinion. And for the head shave, we're just going to use gold dollar 1996. It's got this heavy wood scales on it. I refreshed it up to the 30,002. I was not satisfied with the head shave that it was giving me on the road last week. And this last head shave was just all that I wanted it to be. Sometime tomorrow, I'll probably give myself a haircut. Sharon a haircut tomorrow. Very good. I dare say my next shave on Friday, I'll have those new brushes in if they deliver on time tomorrow. And we'll see what kind of time I can put together available to do a shave on video. Well, look at that. I got myself a couple of times and didn't even know it. That feels good. I'm not going to put soap on the back of my neck as I sometimes do. I want to go ahead and end this as quickly as possible. And I've already taken up plenty of your good time, so watch it as you see fit, twice the speed in various segments, however you choose to do it. And I appreciate you all watching and staying with me this long. Especially if you did it in one setting. Ooh, that's a lot of time. Let me do a little shout out to somebody who's been writing to me and enjoys my videos. He says that they help him go to sleep. All right, laugh it up, I know. But anything we can do to help. If it makes you sleep better, there's nothing, trust me, I know. There's nothing more important than good sleep. Especially for a truck driver on the road. Getting a restful, deep sleep, deep REM sleep. All right. There it is. But we're not completely done. We're done with the shaving part, but we're not done with the accoutrements, the refinements. Anybody has a suggestion on what to do with alum block pieces, let me know. What do you do with broken alum block pieces? I'm to the point, because they're awfully small. I've got these 3 little pieces. And I'd hate just to throw them away, but I can't think of any other use for them. All right, let's throw on some Texas cold water. Well, it's colder than it would be in the summer, that's for sure. Okay. Pat it down. We're going to put on some Thayer's witch hazel, lavender. Little bit right there. Right there in that line under the chin. All right. Panade Whiskey Woods. Nice deep wood whiskey scent. Sting's not too bad. Okay. Let that dry down for a minute. A few seconds. And the brush is already loaded with Pinot Cledman cornstarch powder. And there we are. We're done. Thank you for staying with me this long, and I'll see you down the road.